हेलो, हेलो, हेलो। मैम आवाज़ नहीं आ रही। हेलो।
अब बोलना।
Jyoti, am I audible to you?
यस मैम।
Jyoti Sani,
हाँ जी मैम, ज्योति सैनी।
unmute yourself, Jyoti.
यस मैम, यस।
अगर थोड़ा वेट करो उसके बाद फिर नेक्स्ट बोलो। CS कम।
Jyoti, please present your presentation.
यस मैम।
You are not audible, Jyoti.
क्या मैम? मैम मुझे ना स्लाइड थोड़ा सही से नहीं दिख रही, क्लियर नहीं दिख रही मुझे, शो नहीं हो रही मैम।
उन्हें मेरी आवाज तो आ रही है, उनकी आवाज नहीं आ रही इधर। 1 मिनट सर।
हेलो, हेलो, हेलो।
Jyoti, please continue with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon, all of you. Myself, Jyoti. I am research scholar from Om Sterling Global University. First of all, thank you for organizing this national conference and giving me this opportunity. Today, my topic is development of creativity in human life through fine arts. Ma'am, next slide. Abstract. Art plays the most important role in human life. It outcomes in different way in the form of creativity. A painter creates a new artwork with the desired color. A carpenter can make a desired artist table from wood. A poet can compose a poem and a lyricist can compose a song. Whatever the medium, creating art gives a person an opportunity to express himself in a different and unique way. This article reveals the process of creativity towards human life in the field of fine arts. Fine art can promote an approach to learning creativity in human life. Artistic creativity is undervalued every day in our schools, our lives, our school, our culture. This article introduces the role of creativity in human life and how to become more creative in our lives. Next slide, ma'am. Every person influences other people with his philosophy of life. Whatever we learn from other is education. Every person needs education. Gradually, the feelings of acquiring knowledge increased in understanding. There is no such creature who can easily solve the puzzles of life without learning something. Generally, we use education to mean learning. Whatever we learn something from a particular person or a learner, it by living in society, it is education. Therefore, education is related to learning and teaching. Education includes knowledge, proper conduct, and creativity, etc. Thus, in skills, trades, professionals, mental and moral development focuses on the flourishing of creativity. When any difficulty arises or any problem arises, a person finds its solution on the basis of his learned knowledge. When solutions are thought or find to solve a problem, then the solution that is different from them is called creative. Therefore, creativity is a special way of thinking. Next slide, ma'am. Creativity is a natural quality of a person. Every person is a little creative. It affects every aspect of human life. Creativity is found in the actions of every person. Every person working in the society has vision of creativity in his work or business. People or different profession living in society like painter, potters, carpenter, lyricists, musicians, playwrights, poets, etc., showcase their creativity extensively through their artwork and make them come true by taking them to the heights of imagination. A painter creates a new artwork with the desired color. A carpenter can make a desired artistic table from wood. A poet can compose a poem, and a lyricist can compose a song. Whatever the medium, creating art gives a person an opportunity to express himself in a different and unique way. Making any new thing is creativity. For creativity, it is necessary that the thing should be beneficial for the human life. Also, not only making a new things is creativity, but creating something new by combining other elements in already made things is also creativity. Creativity is clearly visible in every human activity and is visible in the form of results. Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, imagination encircles the world. Next slide, ma'am.
Wait, please listen the rules. Your point should be brief. You have to finish your presentation within 5 minutes, and you just not only read your presentation that you wrote, you just read your or tell your major remark point in your presentation. Don't go line to line with your presentation. Be careful, and you have to finish within 5 minutes. Continue.
Okay, ma'am. Next slide, ma'am. Role of creativity in human life. Creativity plays an important role in human life. It keeps healthy our body and brain, which is the most important aspect of human life. Whatever you can, artist or businessman, creativity allows you to solve the problem with new creative idea. When you want to success in your life, it is important to develop creativity and make a part of human life. Creativity is a vital tool that helps the human to solve problem more efficiently and effectively. Creativity helps us solving problem in unique and different ways. This ability is essential for today's human life because the human life changes rapidly. Creativity helps us communicate better by making our ideas simple and efficient, whether you are presenting thoughts or writing a report. Creativity reduces the stress and anxiety in human life. Whether you are a painter, lyricist, poet, or a carpenter, the act of creating something can help our mind fresh and claim. Next, ma'am. Creativity allows human adapt to changing circumstances and success require the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Creativity makes you more productive as creativity brings more focus and determination towards your work, which in turn enhance your productivity, and it also provides alternate pathway to the hard things in a easy way and in less time. Creativity gives you a long and healthy life. Creativity brings satisfaction and happiness, which make our mind clear and free from the stress and anxiety and lead into a better mental health. Creativity expand our perceptions. People who are more creative find way to avoid obstacles because their perspectives are broader, and expand perspectives give a new solution to the problem. Creative activity improve our memory and make a boring working interesting, which make our life joyfully and relieves us from the stress of daily life. Creativity infuses new energy into our body, giving us internal inspiration, which makes uh, us happy. Then, how to become more creative? Creativity helps in personal growth as it brings new idea, which builds personal confidence. If you want to add some creativity to your life, just start by spending more time creating. Ma'am, next slide. We can become more creative by adding fine arts activity like drawing, painting, art and craft, etc. In our daily life, we enhance thinking
Jyoti,
ability. Yes, ma'am.
please conclude your presentation because your time is running very short.
Okay, ma'am. We can enhance your creativity by finding problems in our day-to-day life and decoding them in unique ways. Despite easy solution, try creating a song or story by looking at the scenery, pictures and painting around you. Debate on the topic with someone with a different mindset, as this will give you a chance to think differently. Clicking pictures to things and places from different angles will give you different perspective to think about. Exploring new things allows you to leave your comfort zone, which helps you find the things that give pleasure. Learning from mistakes, we enhance your creativity uh, because every mistake is an opportunity to learn something. Conclusion: creativity is a vital skill in human life. It is essential for every aspects of life, no matter what profession you are in. Being successful in life requires creativity. When you are applying creative thinking in daily life, you are making your life more entertaining and pleasing. It is true that when we add creativity in our lives, we become intrinsically motives, our minds become free to think in unique and exciting way. We feel that the world and everything in the world is vibrantly alive. When we do any creative work, we actually active the brain. The world is changing so rapidly now. Creativity allows human adapt to changing circumstances. So creativity is one of the most important characteristics of human beings. Thank you. It's complete, ma'am.
Thank you, Jyoti. Before
Thank you, ma'am.
moving to the next candidate, I will repeat all the rules. Your point should be brief. You have to finish your presentation within 5 minutes. You should not just read your slides, you just tell your major remark point in your presentation. I hope this is clear to all the candidates who are participating in presentation. So moving to the next candidate is Miss Priya Yadav. Please give your presentation. Miss Priya Yadav. Jyoti Sani, you can leave
Yes.
now.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Miss Priya, continue with your presentation.
Mom, what about my PPT?
Now it's visible to you.
Yes, mom. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Priya, and I am a PhD scholar from Om Sterling Global University, and I'm doing PhD in English. And I have written the paper on the topic "The Feminist Perspectives in the Novel That Long Silence," which is written by Shashi Deshpande. Mom, you can change the slide. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible to us.
Ma'am, please change the slide. Next slide. In this paper, I have tried to examine the various feminist perspectives which are there, which are present in the novel That Long Silence. As far as the writer is concerned, Shashi Deshpande is the novelist which emerged on the Indian scene in 1970s, and she has written different novels that are that Dark Holds No Terrors, The Binding Wine, Roots and Shadows, Listen to Me, etc. The various themes have been taken, but the main and most, you can say, the major theme is that what is the situation of women, how culture, the patriarchal thought has always influenced and suppressed women, and how their thought actually is governed by the male individuals which are there in the society, and these very themes are also present in the novel. Next. As far as the title of, as far as the novel is concerned, so this the title of the novel is very intelligently taken up by her, and it shows the long silence of the main character, that is Jaya, and she symbolizes here victory. But when she was married to Mohan, her husband, her name was changed and she was named as Suhasini, and in that thing, her whole life, her whole point of views, her everything was changed. She became silent, and to become an ideal woman, she became silent, and there is a quest which keeps on going in her, and she's not able to speak to anyone. And different protagonist means there is not only one character in this particular novel, many characters are there, and all these women, they are suffering, and they are suffering badly because of the patriarchal thought. Next slide. Jaya here again and again in the novel says that a pair of two bullocks yoked together, the reality was only this: we were two people, a man, a woman. Means she considers her marriage as means two people, they are yoked together, and she's not finding any way to come out of it. Means she wants to come out, but she's not happy in her marriage because she's not able to express herself, her feelings, her likings, her desires, and she is always reshaped by the thoughts or the statements of different people. Like Vanita Mami on her wedding day or marriage, she said that a husband is a sheltering tree, is like a sheltering tree. So this statement has always formed the thought of this very character Jaya, and she has always tried to be Sita, Gandhari means the ideal women, and you can say that yes, she was an ideal woman. Next slide. And she states here that if Gandhari was, who bandaged her eyes to become blind like her husband, could be called ideal wife, I was too an ideal wife. I bandaged my eyes tightly. I didn't want to know anything. So Jaya here means she accepts everything, and means outwardly she accepts everything, but inwardly she was, trapped in the thought processes. She was not she was a graduate, and she was a columnist who was a good writer, but because of her husband's, he was angry on her, and that's why she left writing, and she just to become that ideal woman, to become an ideal wife, daughter-in-law. She leaves everything and she becomes a silent. There are other characters also, like Nilama is there, Vanita Mami, Aji. Aji is a widow, and because she's a widow, so she has to wear white sari and she has to shave her head. And Jija is also there because she was a lady who was not able to deliver a child. That's why her husband remarried, and she was okay with that thing. Then comes Mukta, Tara, Kusum. There are so many women, and they are accepting their plight, their situation, that it is fine. Kusum, because of means she didn't get importance in her life. That's why she became mental. She lost her, mind, peace of mind, and that's why she became mental, and she was discarded by the family. No one took care of that, and she died because of that. And Mukta is also there. She's a widow too, and she always, she feels and thinks that
Priya,
yes.
conclude your presentation.
Okay, sure, sure. So this is all about which is stated in this novel. So we can say that these three phases have been shown by three phases of feminism has been shown there, where role models are imitated. Secondly, the second phase of feminism is shown, that anger and protest is there in Jaya. And third, Jaya in the final, in the conclusion, she says that she will speak and she will fight for herself. She won't be silent. In this way, we can say that three phases of feminism has been shown by the writer, and we can surely state that yes, it is a feminist piece of work, and feminist perspectives have been stated by the novelist. So this was all about my research paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Priya. Now moving to the next candidate, Mr. Chandrasekhar Dubey. Please, Priya, you can leave now. Moving to next candidate, Mr. Chandrasekhar Dubey. Please give your presentation, and please make sure your time is only 5 minutes. You have to conclude your presentation within 5 minutes. Now moving to the next candidate, Mr. Surendra Dalal, please give your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. सर ये इशू रहेगा सर, इसमें वो नहीं होगा, कृति देव 10 इसलिए नहीं आएगा। मैं यहाँ से प्रेजेंट कर रहा हूँ सर इसमें। हेलो, आवाज आ रही है मैम?
Mr. Surendra Dalal, please give your presentation from your own side.
यस मैम, यहाँ से कर रहा हूँ। यस मैम, शो हो रही है मैम? हेलो, शो हो रही है ना मैम? सामाजिक चेतना और सतत विकास। हेलो, आदरणीय सम्मान के योग्य सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं सुरेंद्र दलाल, शोधार्थी हिंदी विभाग, OSG हिसार, हरियाणा। हेलो, सामाजिक चेतना और सतत विकास। मानव और समाज परस्पर एक दूसरे के पूरक है। मानव के बिना समाज का अस्तित्व नहीं है। इसी प्रकार समाज के भाव में मानव भी। यस, हेलो हेलो जी,
Please continue.
हाँ, आवाज आ रही है ना मैम?
हाँ जी, you are audible to us.
यस मैम, हाँ मैं कंटिन्यू कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है। यस मैम, मैं सुरेंद्र दलाल, सभी को आदरणीय सम्मान के योग्य सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं सुरेंद्र दलाल, शोधार्थी हिंदी विभाग, OSG हिसार, हरियाणा। मेरा टॉपिक है सामाजिक चेतना और सतत विकास। इसमें स्टार्टिंग में है परिचय। मानव और समाज परस्पर एक दूसरे के पूरक है। मानव के बिना हमारे समाज का कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है। जो भी मतलब किसी व्यक्ति और समाज का अपेक्षित सहयोग मिलता रहता है, तब तक वो व्यक्ति जीवन रूपी गाड़ी उसकी पटरी पर दौड़ती रहेगी और वो समाज का उसको सहयोग मिलता रहेगा। अगर किसी व्यक्ति को समाज का सहयोग नहीं मिलता तो उसका समस्त ढांचा जो भ्रमरा जाता है। नेक्स्ट, सामाजिकता। समाज के स्वरूप को जानने के उपरांत हमें सामाजिकता को भी जानना आवश्यक है। सामाजिक संबंधों का समाज के माध्यम से पूरा किया जा सकता है, ठीक है। इसमें है सामाजिक चेतना, भावों, सिद्धांतों और मतों को जनता की जो सामाजिक भावनाओं, आदतों, रीति रिवाजों का कुछ योग है। समाज में व्याप्त वहम और समाप्त ये करने का अभिमान था। उसके साथ सामाजिक रूढ़िवादी विकास के कारण उत्पन्न विकृतियों के निवारण द्वारा समाज की नवीन स्वरूप प्रदान करना सामाजिक चेतना का महत्वपूर्ण अंग है। अब चेतना शब्द संस्कृत के चित्त शब्द के साथ लूट प्रत्यय टॉप प्रत्यय से संयोग से निर्मित हुआ है। चित्त शब्द किसी वस्तु या प्रत्यक्ष ज्ञान का घोतक नहीं। अंग्रेजी भाषा में चेतना शब्द के लिए कॉन्शियस शब्द का प्रयोग किया जाता है। यह सब लैटिन भाषा में जो कॉन्शियस शब्द से कॉनिरे शब्दों के संयोग से निर्मित हुआ है। कॉन्शियस शब्द का अर्थ है जानना था। कॉन्शियस शब्द का अर्थ है आंतरिक ज्ञान या आंतरिक जागरूकता। दोस्तों, किसी व्यक्ति या वस्तु के विषय में संपूर्ण रूप से जानना या जानने की इच्छा रखना, क्या अतिरिक्त गुणों या दोषों में परिचित या इसके प्रति आंतरिक जागरूकता रखना ही चेतना है। चेतना सब मनोविज्ञान से संबंधित है। मन के धरातल में जितने प्रकार के मानसिक क्रियाकलाप संपन्न होते हैं सभी चेतना के विषय हैं। सोचना, विचार करना, स्मरण, बुद्धि वगैरह ये सब इसका विषय संबंधित विषय हैं। वस्तु किसी आंतरिक भौतिक प्रकृति की संपूर्ण जानकारी का चेतना का विषय है। हम बात करते हैं सत विकास की। विकास की जो सामाजिक, आर्थिक, मानसिक और दार्शनिक और राजनीतिक आधार पर मतलब अलग अलग इसकी परिभाषाएं हो सकती हैं। इसका संबंध हमारा पर्यावरण से भी है। मानव विकास के 4 आधार माने जाते हैं: अपक्षता, दक्षता, उत्पादकता, भागीदारी और सशक्तिकरण और स्थिरता। मानव विकास स्वतंत्र, भलाई और सभी लोगों की गरिमा को सुरक्षित रखने को सर्वाधिक प्राथमिकता देता है। किसी देश में विकास का स्तर बताने के लिए लिंग आधारित विकास सूचकांक तथा लिंग सशक्तिकरण मापन और मानव निर्धारित सूचकांक जैसी विधियां भी उपलब्ध हैं। संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ में वर्णन है कि सबके आधार जीवन, प्रत्याशा, शिक्षा और आय है। विकास सामाजिक आर्थिक विकास की वह प्रक्रिया है जिसमें पृथ्वी की सहनशक्ति के अनुसार विकास की बात की जाती है। सत्य विकास का लक्ष्य है भुखमरी तथा गरीबी को समाप्त करना, सार्वजनिक प्राथमिक शिक्षा, लिंग सम्मान तथा महिला सशक्तिकरण, शिशु मृत्यु दर घटना, मातृत्व, स्वास्थ्य को बढ़ावा देना, कोविड, एचआईवी एड्स, मलेरिया, डेंगू, स्वाइन फ्लू तथा इन बीमारियों से छुटकारा पाना, पर्यावरण तथा वैश्विक विकास के लिए संबंध स्थापित करना और हमारी जो नई शिक्षा नीति का उद्देश्य भी।
Mr. Surendra Dalal, please conclude your presentation.
यस मैम, बात करते हैं परिवर्तन की। तो सामाजिक चेतना का बीज एक साथ चलने से चिंतन करने में जहाँ ऐसे मंत्र नहीं होते वहाँ कोई आदर्श भी नहीं होता, जहाँ कोई आदर्श नहीं है वहाँ जीवन लक्ष्यहीन है। मनुष्य की अभिव्यक्तियां और चलने की राह भी अनेक है। मनुष्य की अपनी अपनी अभिव्यक्तियां होती है। मनुष्य अलग अलग विभिन्न अभिव्यक्तियों से ही संस्कृतियां हैं। तो जैसे कि एक बच्चा समाज के जब सामाजिक परिस्थितियां इस प्रकार की होती हैं कि एक बच्चा समाज के तौर तरीके, नियमों तथा नैतिक मानक को आसानी से सीख लेता है, तो ये कहा जाता है कि उसमें सामाजिक विकास हुआ है, एक समाज जिसे लोग बनाए रखना चाहते हैं। यस मैम, हो गया मैम फिनिश। हेलो हेलो
Thank you.
जी,
Now moving to the next. You can leave now.
ओके, थैंक यू।
Now moving to the next candidate, Mr. Chandrasekhar Dubey. You have to finish your presentation within 5 minutes. Please give your presentation. Mr. Chandrasekhar Dubey, am I audible to you? Unmute yourself for presentation.
ये आसन सिद्धि के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति। व्यक्ति आसन सिद्ध करके कैसे समाधि को प्राप्त होता है, यह पहला विधि है। दूसरा, प्राणायाम के माध्यम से समाधि की सिद्धि, जब व्यक्ति प्राणायाम करके कैसे समाधि को सिद्ध करता है, इस पे। तीसरा है ध्यान सिद्धि के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति, ध्यान सिद्ध करके कैसे व्यक्ति समाधि को प्राप्त करता है। चौथा है सप्त चक्रों के जागरण के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति, कैसे चक्रों को जागृत कर मनुष्य समाधि को प्राप्त कर सकता है। 5 नंबर है नाड़ी शुद्धि के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति, जीव कैसे नाड़ी को अपने शुद्ध करके समाधि को प्राप्त कर सकता है। उसके बाद कुंडलिनी शक्तिपात के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति, शक्तिपात दीक्षा के माध्यम से हम समाधि को कैसे प्राप्त करेंगे। तो नाद श्रवण के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति, अजपा जप के माध्यम की प्राप्ति, राजयोग के अभ्यास के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति, ज्ञान योग के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति, कर्म योग के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति, भक्ति योग के अभ्यास के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति। ऐसे हठ 17 शांभवी मुद्रा सिद्धि के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति। नंबर 18 लोक कल्याण और निस्वार्थ सेवा भाव के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति। 19 विपස්සना क्रिया के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति। 20 क्रिया योग के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति और 21 अष्टांग योग के माध्यम से समाधि की प्राप्ति। यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान इत्यादि के माध्यम से जीव समाधि को प्राप्त कर सकता है, परम तत्व परमात्मा का साक्षात्कार कर सकता है, अपने स्वरूप में लीन हो सकता है। ओम नमः शिवाय। संपूर्णम। That's all. Thank to all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
धन्यवाद।
Now moving to the next candidate, Ms. Khyati Goswami. You have to conclude your presentation within 5 minutes. Please be fast. Am I audible to you? Ms. Khyati? Khyati? Please give your presentation. Unmute yourself.
I have unmute.
Okay, give your presentation. You have to be short, concise, and brief. You have to finish your presentation within 5 minutes.
Am I audible?
Continue. Yes, you are audible to us.
Okay. Honorable chairpersons, other dignities, and my colleagues, good afternoon to all of you. My name is Khyati Goswami. I am research scholar at Yoga Department of Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya, Sagar. I am very thankful to the organizers who gave me this opportunity to present my research paper at national conference. Thanks to all. Today I am going to present my research paper on effect of yogic exercises on psychological measures of sports persons. The word psychology refers to the study of human behavior, and the sports psychology denotes subcategories of psychology that deals with the behavior of sports persons and term engaged in competitive sports. It involves the study of how psychological factors affect performance and how participation in sports and exercises affect psychological and physical factors. The four psychological measures I have included in my research work are stress, anxiety, aggression, and depression, where anxiety is a negative emotional state characterized by nervousness, worry, and associated with the activation and arousal of the body. And stress is a process which occurs when people perceive an imbalance between the physical and psychological demand of their ability to respond. Aggression is defined as any behavior directed toward intentionally harming or injuring another living being. Therefore, depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. It affects how you feel, think, and behave and can lead to the variety of emotional and physical problems. Next slide, please. The hypothesis of the study is stated as there will be a significant impact on yogic practices on selected psychological variables of sports person. Objective of the study is determine the effect of selected yogic practices on selected psychological variables of sports persons. Limitation of the study includes that as the subjects belong to different socio-economical background, their lifestyles, habit, and nutrition intake might be different, and the climate condition during the training will all not be same all the days. Next slide, please. In the inclusion criteria, the sports persons who are between 13 to 19 years of age are included in this study, and the sports person who has expressed their regret to participate in the studies, and the sports persons who have gone through any kind of surgeries or have done practice of any kind of yogic practices are excluded from this study. Next slide, please. Through yoga practice can help athlete to stay calm and relax in daily life and can also give the strength to face event as they come without getting restless. Yoga practice ideally include the complete package of asanas, pranayam, meditation, relaxation, and the ancient yogic philosophy of which has helped several sports persons to recover and face life with new positivity and strength. Next slide. In the research design and methodology, the random group experimental design have been done in which the population is targeted as sports person, in which adolescent 60 sports persons was selected by random sampling, and the pre-test was done before the yoga intervention, and after the 3 month of yoga intervention, the post-test was conducted to collect all the data and to measure the result. Next slide. The questionnaire I have used for the studies are anxiety, depression, and stress and aggression. All the variables are measured through the questionnaires, and all the questionnaires are registered, listed, and authorized at National Psychology Corporation of Agra. Next. After the measuring questionnaires, data was analyzed by calculating mean, standard deviation, mean difference, and the t-value. And all these data analysis was done at social package of social science, as we can say that the SPSS software. Next slide. Through the statistical analysis, the data we have got in which the mean difference of stress was 3.87 and the t-value is 32.88. Next. The mean difference of anxiety was 4 and the t value we have got is 34.35. Next slide. The mean difference of aggression we have calculated is 6.2 and the t value is 31.91. Next. And in the last, the depression or the mean difference of depression is 4.25 and the t value is 37.59. For that reason, it can be stated that there is a significant difference in the pre-test and the post-test of psych shows the marginal probability of occurrence of the previous slide कीजिए previous slide please. Yep. The marginal probability of occurrence of the given event. Accordingly, it can be asserted that the changes in stress, anxiety, aggression, and depression are tracked down after the 3 months of yogic training. In the summary, we can say that the yoga has multiple benefits, and the benefits of yoga include injury prevention, increased performance, body awareness, balance, core strength, breath awareness, mental focus, stress relief, recovery time, and endurance. With the many benefits derived from the practice of yoga, it is important for the sports persons to exercise yoga. And these findings suggest that incorporating yoga practices into the training regimen of sports persons may contribute to the positive changes, offering a holistic approach to enhance both physical and mental well-being. These findings hold implication of sports coaching and training program encourage the integration of yogic exercises as a supportive tool for cultivating a healthy mindset among the athletes. Next. These are some few literature review which I have through which I have done my studies. Next. Thank you to all of you for listening me patiently, and thank you to all.
Thank you. Thank you. You can leave now. Now moving to the next candidate, Mr. Hitesh Sharma. Please give your presentation. Your presentation should be short and brief, and you have to finish your presentation within 5 minutes.
Om Sterling Global University. My topic is scientific study of yoga and natural practice from reducing stress of Chandigarh employees. Stress is generally worse term to various mental bodily pressures experienced by people throughout life. Continuous stress can be harmful to our physical, mental health as well as our ability to cope with outside influence on a psychological, mental, physical level. Type of stress: acute stress, episodic stress and chronic. Acute stress है शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए होता है, एपिसोडिक की जैसे काफी दिन, हफ्ता 10 दिन के लिए एक्यूट स्ट्रेस होता है जो टाइट शेड्यूल के कारण, और क्रोनिक स्ट्रेस एक लॉन्ग पीरियड तक अगर स्ट्रेस कंटिन्यू रहे तो ये चेंज. कॉजेज ऑफ स्ट्रेस है एनवायरमेंटल कॉज, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कॉज एंड पर्सनल कॉज. एनवायरमेंटल कॉज है कि जब एक व्यक्ति एम्प्लॉय है जो अपने एनवायरनमेंट के टेक्नोलॉजी चेंजेस की वजह से स्ट्रेस में, सोशल कल्चरल चेंजेस की वजह, और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कॉजेस है कि जब एक कैरियर डेवलपमेंट, जॉब इनसिक्योरिटी की वजह से, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कॉज की वजह से स्ट्रेस होता है. पर्सनल कॉजेस क्या है, जब किसी एम्प्लॉय को अपना जो है many events related to the individual data taking place outside the organization may also cause become the sources of stress at work from employees. प्लीज स्लाइड्स पीछे चल रही है, मैं सिम्टम्स पर हूँ. सिम्टम्स ऑफ स्ट्रेस: फिजिकल एंड मेंटल. फिजिकल स्ट्रेस हो रहा है जैसे इरिटेशन हुआ, इनएबिलिटी टू स्लीप, एक्सेस टायर्डनेस, ड्राई माउथ, ब्रीदिंग डिफिकल्टी, मसल्स टेंशंस, कोल्ड हैंड, स्टमक अपसेट्स. ऐसे ही मेंटल टेंशन, टू टाइप्स ऑफ मेंटल टेंशन: इमोशनल एंड बिहेवियरल. इमोशनल एंग्जाइटी, वरी, गिल्ट होना, एंगर होना, मूडीनेस, डिप्रेशन, सुसाइडल टेंडेंसी. बिहेवियरल: चेंजेस इन प्रोडक्टिविटी, स्लीप डिसऑर्डर, चेंजेस इन ईटिंग हैबिट, सीरियस वैसे होता है. अब योगा एजुकेशन के माध्यम से हम लोग ठीक करते हैं, बट योगा एजुकेशन को समझेंगे. यम, नियम, आसन, प्राणायाम, प्रत्याहार, धारणा, ध्यान, समाधि, इनमें से हम कुछ लेकर हम लोग स्ट्रेस को आगे रिसर्च पेपर में डालें. ऐसे ही नेचुरोपैथी ही मेरा टॉपिक है. नेचुरोपैथी, 5 एलिमेंट्स ऑफ नेचुरोपैथी: स्काई एलिमेंट्स, एयर एलिमेंट्स, फायर एलिमेंट्स, वाटर एलिमेंट्स एंड अर्थ एलिमेंट्स. साइंटिफिक स्टडी: साइकोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट्स हैं इसमें, फिलोसफिकल एस्पेक्ट्स है, हिस्टोरिकल एस्पेक्ट है, एनालिटिकल एस्पेक्ट। हिस्टोरिकल एस्पेक्ट्स के बारे में मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। जब किसी को स्ट्रेस पहले होता था तो उसमें है मेजर नहीं किया। 1900 से वेस्टर्न नेशन में स्ट्रेस को जाना गया। 1936 में चूहों पे रिसर्च किया गया तो उनके फिजिकल पे कोई प्रभाव नहीं पड़ा था, बट मेंटल प्रेशर उनके ऊपर इतना ही था। और एनालिटिकल स्ट्रेस में देखा जाए तो क्वालिटेटिव और क्वांटिटेटिव की स्ट्रेस की क्वालिटेटिव इन नेचर एंड इंक्लूड सर्टेन इंपॉर्टेंट वेरिएबल्स लाइक बैड परफॉर्मेंस, इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप, हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स और ऑब्सेंस। और second approach is to deal with qualitative nature depends how stress make people more serious। तो वी आर सैम्पलिंग, हमने सैंपल करके देखा क्वेश्चनियर के माध्यम से, और हमारे जो हैं एक्सपेरिमेंट्स किए हमने ब्लड प्रेशर, हार्ट, रेस्पिरेटरी रेट और फीवर के। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। ब्लड प्रेशर को देखा गया जब स्ट्रेस व्यक्ति नॉर्मल रेंज 120 to 80 होती है और स्ट्रेस पेशेंट की 20-30 रेंज करती है तो ऊपर और नीचे। ऐसे ही रेस्पिरेटरी रेट है 12 to 20 ब्रेथ पर मिनट होती है एक अडल्ट की। तो अगर स्ट्रेस पेशेंट है तो उसी के भी 20 और 30 पॉइंट्स ऊपर नीचे फॉल होती है, ऊपर जाती है नीचे जाती है। हार्ट रेट 60 to 100 का नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस रेट है, सॉरी नॉर्मल रेंज है, और स्ट्रेस में इसकी 100 प्लस हो जाती है, 60 के बिलो रहती है। एक साइकोजेनिक फीवर है, उसमें 97.5 to 98.9 नॉर्मल रेंज है। और अगर स्ट्रेस है व्यक्ति को तो उसका 51 से ऊपर चला जाता है और 37 to 38 के नीचे। प्लीज चेंज ऑब्जेक्टिव एम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ एम एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स। हमारा जो ऑब्जेक्ट टू मेजर द लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चन स्ट्रेस इन एम्प्लॉय ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, सेमी गवर्नमेंट, प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूट चंडीगढ़। ठीक है, टू फाइंड आउट द सिलेक्ट। जब हम लोगों ने कुछ प्राणायाम को लेकर रिसर्च किया, उनकी स्ट्रेंथ, स्पीड, एबिलिटी, एंड्योरेंस, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी एंड पावर बढ़ी। ऐसे ही आसन को जिनको सिर्फ आसन कराया गया उनको स्ट्रेंथ, स्पीड, एबिलिटी, एजिलिटी, एंड्योरेंस एंड पावर, दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन का उनका ब्लड प्रेशर, पल्स रेट को देखा गया। ऐसे ही टू फाइंड आउट द इफेक्ट ऑफ एयर बाथ, जब उनको वॉक करने के उनका फिजिकल कंपोनेंट्स हैं, स्ट्रेस लेवल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, सेमी गवर्नमेंट, प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूट, सबके अलग अलग लेवल आने लगे थे। चेंज कीजिए प्लीज। लिमिटेशन, हमारा ये जो रिसर्च है कहाँ तक लिमिट रहा कि हम लोग सिर्फ एम्प्लॉयज पे कर पाए। 30 to 55 ईयर्स के एज के जो एम्प्लॉयज उनके करके है ना 30 से नीचे लिया। सिर्फ दो एक मेजरमेंट रहा हमारा। ड्यूरिंग द इंटरवेंशन ओनली सिलेक्टेड योगिक आसन, प्राणायाम, नेचुरोपैथी टेक्निक विल बी प्रैक्टिस। फिर रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी का क्या यूज किया गया? रिसर्च डिजाइन, टाइप ऑफ रिसर्च, टाइप ऑफ डाटा कलेक्टेड एंड सैंपल साइज। जो रिसर्च डिजाइन अप्रोच adopted in the research to is descriptive research. Type of data collected, primary data was collected using structured questionnaire. We also collected sampling by medical checkup of subject blood pressure, respiratory, heart rate, fever, and second data were taken फ्रॉम बुक्स, जर्नल्स एंड रिकॉर्ड्स। सैंपल साइज हमारा रहा रिसर्च पेपर के दौरान को तैयार करने के, जिसपे हमने क्या 120 एम्प्लॉयज पे हम लोगों ने रिसर्च किया। रिजल्ट एंड डिस्कशन क्या निकला? आफ्टर द एनालिसिस ऑफ डाटा कलेक्टेड थ्रू क्वेश्चनर्स वी ऑब्जर्व दैट द मेन फैक्टर्स ऑफ स्ट्रेस एट वर्क प्लेस आर एज फॉलोइंग: वर्कलोड, प्रेशर फ्रॉम डिपार्टमेंट हेल्थ, लेवल ऑफ कंपटीशन, ऑफिस एनवायरनमेंट, सैलरी इश्यूज। We observe the following effect of stress at workplace: increase absenteeisms, reduce productivity, reduce job satisfaction, reduce efficiency. Findings, work stress findings, please. Next slide. Work stress has an impact of the performance of the employees, decrease the productivity and decrease in job satisfaction are the factors through which the impact of stress can be identified. It has been found that the most of the employees their job creates stress, and the main reason of the stress are due to heavy work and pressure from the department and head. Suggestion and recommendation: the top management should try to give additional.
Please conclude your presentation, Mr. Hitesh.
Okay, ma'am. During the working hours, or the management can provide yoga classes as per their convenience before, after, during working hours, so that stress can be reduced to some extent. Conclusion: the project scientific हमारा ये कंक्लूजन निकला कि हर व्यक्ति को जो भी जॉब पर है उसको सुबह या शाम को जब भी टाइम मिले उसको हमारा इंटरवेंशन प्रोग्राम के द्वारा उसको योगा करना चाहिए, प्राणायाम करना चाहिए, वॉक करना चाहिए। ये सब मेरा कंक्लूजन। थैंक यू। Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Hitesh. Now moving to the next candidate, Pinky Rani. Please give your presentation and make sure your presentation within 5 minutes.
ओके मैम। मैं पिंकी रानी पीएचडी स्कॉलर OSGU आदर के योग्य चीफ गेस्ट एंड प्रोफेसर्स एंड रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स, आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मेरा टॉपिक है वर्तमान परिप्रेक्ष्य में भारत बांग्लादेश संबंध। बांग्लादेश को स्वतंत्रकरण में भारत की बहुत ही ज्यादा भूमिका रही थी और 6 दिसंबर को ही भारत ने बांग्लादेश की आज़ादी की घोषणा कर दी थी, परंतु औपचारिक रूप से 16 दिसंबर 1971 को बांग्लादेश जो वो अस्तित्व में आया और भारत की इसमें बहुत ही अहम भूमिका रही थी। और बांग्लादेश ने स्वतंत्र होने के बाद भी अपने जो विदेशिक संबंध हैं वो शांतिपूर्ण सह अस्तित्व की नीति के आधार पर ही बनाए, जैसे कि भारत की विदेश नीति थी जो प्रधानमंत्री जवाहरलाल नेहरू के काल में बनाई गई थी। और दोनों देशों में साझा इतिहास, साझा संस्कृति, पहनावा एक जैसा जो हमें देखने को मिला है। और इन्हीं विदेशिक संबंधों के कारण ही 1972 में दोनों देशों में मैत्री संधि हुई थी। और मैत्री संबंध के कुछ जो है दोनों देशों के मध्य में कुछ उतार चढ़ाव के काल भी देखे गए। मुजीबुद्दीन रहमान की हत्या के बाद जब खालिदा जिया की सरकार जो बनी बांग्लादेश में, तो भारत के प्रति उनका जो रवैया था वो कहीं ना कहीं कटुतापूर्ण हमें देखने को मिला। इसके बाद 2010 में जब बांग्लादेश प्रधानमंत्री शेख हसीना ने भारत की यात्रा की, तो उसी टाइम से जो भारत के प्रति उनके संबंध थे उनको हम कह सकते हैं वो बहुत ही मधुर रहे, अच्छे रहे। जो सामाजिक आर्थिक संबंध थे, जो व्यापारिक संबंध थे, वो अपने सुनहरे काल में जो निखर करके आए। इसके बाद भी जब 2021 में बांग्लादेश के 50 वर्ष जब आज़ादी के पूरे हुए, तो उन्होंने भारत के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी को वहां पर आने के लिए निमंत्रण दिया। और भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी भी वहां बांग्लादेश की उन्होंने यात्रा की। और इस यात्रा के दौरान दोनों देशों के मध्य में 5 समझौते हुए। और इसके बाद जो है 8 सितंबर को 2022 को बांग्लादेश की जो प्रधानमंत्री है शेख हसीना, उन्होंने भारत की यात्रा की। और भारत की यात्रा के दौरान दोनों देशों के मध्य में 7 समझौते हुए। और जो ये समझौते थे, ये सीमा समझौता था, कनेक्टिविटी को लेकर के था, सामाजिक समझौता था, आर्थिक समझौता था और परिवहन कनेक्टिविटी को लेकर के ये समझौते तो जो थे ये हुए थे। इसके बाद नेक्स्ट स्लाइड तो नहीं रही इसमें। इंट्रोडक्शन में भारत बांग्लादेश जो है दोनों देशों के संबंध जो बहुत ही अच्छे रहे थे। और बांग्लादेश को स्वतंत्रता की घोषणा करने वाला, बांग्लादेश को स्वतंत्रता प्रदान करने वाला भारत पहला देश रहा था। और आज़ादी के तुरंत बाद ही दोनों देशों के राजनयिक संबंध जो है वो बहुत ही अच्छे रहे थे। फिर 2015 में भी सीमांकन समझौता जो था दोनों देशों के बीच में हुआ। और दोनों देशों के बीच के समझौते के बाद में कुछ रीजनल फॉर्म्स भी हैं जो दोनों देशों के लिए इन सामाजिक, आर्थिक और राजनीतिक समझौतों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए है। इसके बाद
प्रेजेंटेशन आपका जो कंक्लूजन है वो आप बताइए।
या मैम, अध्ययन का उद्देश्य और इसमें शोध विधि है। शोध विधि में जो संपूर्ण जो अध्ययन है वो प्राथमिक और द्वितीय आंकड़े दोनों का ही प्रयोग किया गया है। और विदेश नीति से संबंधित बहुत सारी बुकों जो हैं वो इसमें मैंने इनका प्रयोग किया है। इसके बाद दोनों देशों के प्रगाढ़ होते संबंध हैं, सामाजिक, आर्थिक और राजनीतिक, व्यापार को लेकर के सारे संबंध इसमें बताए गए हैं। फिर निष्कर्ष के तौर पे कहा जा सकता है कि 1971 में बांग्लादेश के निर्माण में भारत की जो भूमिका रही थी, वहीं से विदेशिक संबंध इनके दोनों देशों के बहुत ही अच्छे हमें देखे गए। और सामाजिक, आर्थिक, सांस्कृतिक रूप से एक अच्छा संबंध साझा दोनों देश करते हैं। तटवर्ती सीमा पर द्विपक्षीय जो विवाद हैं, जल संसाधन विवाद हैं, बहुत सारे विवाद हैं, सीमा विवाद भी है, नदी जल विवाद भी है। लेकिन इन सभी विवादों के होते हुए भी भारत और बांग्लादेश के जो दोनों के संबंध हैं वो अपने आप भी अगर वर्तमान में देखें तो वो स्वर्णिम काल में है। दोनों देशों के संबंध जो है बहुत ही अच्छे हम कह सकते हैं। और कुछ बाधाएं भी हैं, लेकिन इन सभी को 7 समझौतों के माध्यम से इन दोनों में जो विवाद थे उनको सुलझाने का दोनों देशों के प्रधानमंत्रियों के द्वारा प्रयास किया गया है। बांग्लादेश की प्रधानमंत्री शेख हसीना ने आतंकवाद की जो समस्या थी इसको भी प्रमुखता से देखते हुए इसे भी निपटने के लिए जो है आश्वासन दिया है और बांग्लादेश प्रधानमंत्री शेख हसीना के मौजूद भारत के दौरे पर सकारात्मक नतीजे जो है वो देखने को मिले हैं। दोनों देशों के नेताओं की वार्ता के माध्यम से देखा गया है कि दोनों के मध्य में 7 जो समझौते हुए उनमें रेलवे परियोजना है, कनेक्टिविटी, परिवहन आदि सारे जो समझौते हैं वो उन विवादों को हल करते हुए बहुत सारे जो ये समझौते दोनों देशों के बीच में हुए हैं, तो कहीं न कहीं वर्तमान परिप्रेक्ष्य में कहा जा सकता है कि भारत और बांग्लादेश के संबंध जो वो मधुर हैं, स्वर्णिम काल में अभी देखे जा रहे हैं। थैंक यू।
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Pinky Rani. Now moving to the next candidate, Ms. Sukhandeep Kaur. Please give your presentation and try to be in short and brief. You have just 5 minutes to show your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. My topic of my presentation is creative expression that inspire eco-friendly living, that is cultivating an eco-conscious culture through art, that how the art plays an important role to aware the people among the preservation of environment. So, in introduction, art often frequently states a feeling a stimulus rational consideration of environment problems. It can be a force for change, which may entail reviewing how the people interact with nature and embracing more eco-friendly ways of life. Similarly, art is also very effective tool for initiating conversation and unifying people to sustain environmental issues. Alongside the modern day traditional art forms, contemporary artists also adopting many new mediums of art to depict ideas of sustainability. From the primary goals of my topic is the element of art plays the most crucial role in the sustainability movement is that it notifies the people, ignites them to act and cultivating a strong connection between the people and environment. The artist can transmit abstract concept as well as inspiration of future sustainability vision in different genres ranging from painting and photography to sculpture and performances. Next slide, please. Next. In pursuing sustainability, in pursuing a sustainable environment and maintaining the aesthetic and culture diversity of one society, artists have progressively broken out from the traditional roles as image makers. It is important, however, to identify the key players in this field. Example includes Asim Waqif, as internationally renowned Indian artist known for his unique installation often made by recycled materials, as well as Arun Kumar HG is another person who used art to enlighten the people on water conservation and sustainable living. Next. Asim Waqif is an Indian contemporary artist who is very renowned to the mind, string, and view type of installation that also involves such things like urbanization, sustainability, and environment. He was born in 1978 in city Hyderabad and work in the architecture studies, and Waqif tries to separate the viewers from the usual perception or give a new look to the built environment. These are some images regarding the environment awareness created by Asim Waqif. Next. Arun Kumar HG is another artist who is post-graduated from University of Baroda, originally came from farming background, and the main motive of his art is to exposure to the mirroring climate conditions in the terms of ghats and cities enables him to appreciate and tackle some environment problems in his work. These are the images of creating by Arun Kumar HG regarding the environment awareness. Next. Nek Chand is very popular name who has created Rock Garden. Nekchand Garden provides an influential visual representation of the conservation and alternation of neglected urban spaces into flourishing eco-friendly environments. Through his art, Chand showcased the beauty and potential of reclamation and restoration, encouraging a deeper appreciation for the natural world and the significance of preserving it for future generation. The integration of art sustainability in rock garden exemplifies the reflective impact that creative expression can have in nourishing environment awareness and promoting a harmonious relationship between humanity and the planet. Next. In conclusion, it can be said that through the fusion of artist innovation and environment advocacy, artists are paving the way for more eco-conscious culture. These creative art forms and environment sustainability provide a unique platform for dialogue, education, and engagement, catalyzing positive change in our collective effort to protect and preserve our planet. These artist creations not only serve as powerful visualization representations of environment issues at the hand but also challenges viewers to comfort their behaviors and choices, ultimately inspiring them to adopt more sustainable practices. Thank you.
Sir, मेरा mic. Thank you, Sukhmandeep Kaur. Now moving to the next candidate, Niharika Chauhan. Give your presentation. You have to be brief and short. You have to conclude your presentation within 5 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. A very good noon to all. I, Niharika Chauhan, PhD scholar in the Department of Biotechnology in OSU, am going to present my research work on the production of pumpkin and beetroot wine. So basically, I have produced a wine from the combination of two vegetables, pumpkin and beetroot. And as we all know, wine is a very popular alcoholic drink that imparts multiple health benefits. And it is produced traditionally by the fermentation of grapes, but practically it can be made by using a variety of substrates such as vegetables, fruits, flowers, and herbs also. So the fermentation is a process of breakdown of sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide under anaerobic conditions, and it is carried out by microorganisms. The microorganism that is most commonly employed for fermentation in wine is the yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Next slide, please. So in the study, I have used two common vegetables, pumpkin and beetroot, because they are very widely consumed, they are very easily available, and also have a great nutritive value. Next slide. Pumpkin offers many health benefits because it has many natural polyphenolic flavonoids such as alpha and beta carotenes, cryptoxanthins, zeaxanthin that are good antioxidants, and it is a good source of B complex vitamin, and it is also low in calories, high in fibers, and provides multiple vitamins like A, B, C, and E. And it has also been used traditionally for medicinal purposes. Next slide. Beetroots offer a very good nutritive value because they are a rich source of many essential vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, iron, folic acid, potassium, fiber, etc. And the deep red color of beetroots is due to the bioactive compounds, that is betalains, which are having antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antitoxic properties. Next. Next slide, please. So the objective of my research was to produce a wine that is having the combined health benefits of these two vegetables. And this was done by using a blend of the juices of these vegetables. Next slide. Next slide, please. The methodology of my research work involved the extraction of fresh juices of these vegetables, pumpkin and beetroot. For pumpkin, it was done by boiling pumpkin with a lot of water, and then the slurry that was obtained was filtered to obtain the extract of pumpkin. In case of beetroot, I extracted the beetroot juice, and when these juices were obtained, these extracts were obtained, they were sterilized by addition of potassium metabisulfite. Then they were blended together in the ratio 3:1. Then this must was divided into three sets having different sugar contents. After checking the basic parameters like sugar level, pH, and temperature, and etc., specific gravity, they were the sugar content of these different sets were raised to 22 degree, 24 degree, and 26 degree Brix. Brix is a measure of the sugar content basically, and this was done by adding more sugar in these sets. And after this was done, the three sets were prepared. They were inoculated with the fermenting microorganism, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Then this fermentation was carried out at 20 degrees Celsius in an incubator for 7 days. After this fermentation was completed, the wine was filtered to separate it from the dead cells of yeast and pulp and other materials. So the clarification was done by racking the wine 3 to 4 times. After that, it was stored in bottles, and after that, the final product that is sorry, the wine obtained was analyzed for different properties. Next slide, please. In this pictures, you can see the different steps that were carried out in this work. In the first picture, you can see the separate juices, extracts of pumpkin and beetroot. In the second picture, the blend in the 3:1 is shown. In the third picture, you can see the Brix-wise combinations. In the fourth picture, the fermentation is being carried out at 20 degrees Celsius in an incubator after inoculation of yeast. And finally, in the fifth figure, you can see the different products in the three sets after fermentation. Next slide, please. Moving on to the results and discussion part. So the wine that was produced in these three sets was analyzed for its physicochemical and sensory properties. The color of the wine was deep red. It was a very rich color. The pH of the wines in the three sets ranged from 3.5 to 3.7. The specific gravity was found to be 0.99, and the most significant parameter in case of wines is the alcohol content, which was calculated separately for the three sets. In the set 1, it was approximately 12.8%, for the set 2 it was 13.6%, and for the set 3 it was 14.9%. And according to the sensory evaluation, the best wine was obtained from the set 3, which was having the initial Brix of 26 degree, because it was having a good flavor, good aroma, and it produced the maximum amount of alcohol, that is 14.9%. Next slide. So basically, this study demonstrated that it is feasible to produce a very healthy wine from the blends of these vegetables, and obviously with some improvements, this work can be taken to a commercial level, and thereby it can contribute to a decrease in the post-harvest losses of these vegetables, as well as it can increase the diversity of wines. Next slide. These are some of the references that I have used for my work. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Niharika Chauhan. Now moving to the next candidate, Shivani Sharma. Next candidate, Shivani Sharma. You can leave now, Niharika Chauhan.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Shivani Sharma, research scholar from PhD Education Department. My presentation is related to sustainable development and overview. United Nations Conference on Environment and Development held in Rio de Janeiro in 1992 states that sustainable development is the only solution to the problems of environmental degradation discussed by Brundtland Commission in 1987 report, Our Common Future. In Johannesburg summit attended by 191 national governments in 2002 delivered three key outcomes: a political declaration, the Johannesburg Plan of Implementation, and a range of partnership initiatives. Next slide, please. Definition of sustainable development. As per our Common Future report presented in Brundtland Commission 1987, the classic definition of sustainable development is development which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Next, please. The dimensions of sustainable development are there are three main dimensions. First is the environment, the safety of the environment. There should not be any compromise with the environment and the other resources present in it. The economy, use it wisely, use it religiously so that we leave something for the future generations too. And the society, everyone must understand their own responsibility to collaborate and work for the betterment of the planet. Next, please. Barriers while implementing sustainable development. Of course, when we have something at such a large scale where the countries of around the world are working together for some initiative, we face many challenges, and some of them are listed here, like the scale of collective action, because one or the other country, of course, they have conflict based on the place where they lie, based on the challenges in the population area, lack of political will. Negative externalities, for example, the development of lithium ion batteries to reduce usage of fossil fuels, but lithium itself was causing harm to the environment. So even the solution is creating problem, and that is why we face some negativities. The connection between post-epidemic recovery and SDG needs to be discussed and studied, because sustainable development goals are, they were adapted in 2015 and they have been categorized to be fulfilled by the year 2030. But in between, the epidemic COVID came up, and again we are lacking behind by the pace we are moving right now. Next, please. Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations created 17 World Development Goals called the Sustainable Development Goals. They were created in 2015 with the aim of peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. The SDGs emphasize the interconnected environmental, social, and economic aspects of sustainable development by putting sustainability at their center. A universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity is the bottom line of all these goals. Next, please. Education for sustainable development. Now, for as far as India is concerned, Niti Aayog is the commission that has been assigned the duty to meet these goals, lay out an ambitious and comprehensive agenda for global development by 2030. Niti Aayog is the nodal institution for achieving SDGs in India, leading the 2030 agenda with the spirit of cooperative and competitive federalism. It monitors the national and subnational levels progress through various mechanisms like the SDG India Index and Dashboard Multidimensional Poverty Index. Next, please. Niti Aayog has the dual responsibility to oversee the adoption and monitoring of the SDGs in the country and to promote competitive and cooperative federalism among states and UTs. The task at hand for Niti Aayog is not just to periodically collect data on SDGs, but to proactively realize the goals and targets. Next. In conclusion, I would like to say that sustainable development is the only way a cordial relation between mankind and various natural resources can be maintained. 6 interdependent capacities are deemed to be necessary for the successful pursuit of sustainable development. The main capacities are: promote equity within and between generations, adapt to shocks and surprises, transform the system onto more sustainable development pathways, link knowledge with action for sustainability, and to devise governance arrangements that allow people to work together. Then only this planet would be able to continue to withhold the mankind for upcoming years. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now moving to the next candidate, Miss Athira Mahesh. Please give your presentation and make sure you should be brief and complete your presentation within 5 minutes. Am I audible to you, Miss Athira?
Yes, ma'am.
Please continue with your presentation.
Ma'am, are you seeing it? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, you are audible to us. Please continue with your presentation. Athira, we shared your presentation. You don't need to share your presentation with us.
Okay, ma'am.
Screen is visible to you?
No, ma'am.
Wait for 1 minute.
Okay, ma'am.
Is it visible to you now?
No.
So verbally you can continue your presentation.
Ma'am, only now it is visible.
Okay, continue with your presentation.
Only the first page it is coming.
Okay.
Moving to the next page, sir.
Now this page is visible to you.
Yes.
Your abstract.
Yes, ma'am.
So continue from here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is E-Resources Collection Development Pattern in Mahatma Gandhi University of Kerala. And my abstract is, this investigates about the e-resources collection development pattern in Mahatma Gandhi University of Kerala, India. Now, the academic institutions worldwide are increasingly based on e-resources for supporting teaching, learning, and research work. The successful achievement of e-resources depends on acquisition, management, dissemination of e-resources in a library. There are some keywords. Academic Library, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kerala, Collection Development, Digital Library, Selection Criteria, Information Technology, Budget Allocation. Next slide, ma'am. Introduction. In the digital age, the acquisition and management of e-resources have become essential for academic institutions worldwide. I have selected Mahatma Gandhi University for the study and is situated in the picturesque of the district of Kerala. The university encourages research and innovation through its research center, laboratories, and collaborate with the industries. Next slide, ma'am. No, Mahatma Gandhi. Ma'am, this previous slide. Ma'am, I have sent the second PPT to you, not this one.
So continue from your side. We have only that one presentation of yours. So continue with this presentation, or you have to continue with your point of view.
Okay. With this PPT, should I continue?
Yes, you can.
Okay, ma'am. Next slide, ma'am. Literature review. From the literature review, we can conclude that every year there are specific budget allocated to the university library through government fund and external organization. The majority of the users are satisfied with the e-resources. Some of the users encounter differently, which negatively influences their their attitude and behavior towards the e-resources. The three I have taken from the 20 literature, I have taken only one, that is Nimbur Harshal, Tansudi S, and Anbalgan. Next slide, ma'am. Objectives: to evaluate the existing policies and framework governing e-resources collection development at Mahatma Gandhi University, Kerala, to analyze the budget allocation strategies and resource management practices employed for acquiring and sustaining e-resources allocation, to assess the effectiveness of e-resources selection criteria in aligning with the academic and research need to the university community, to examine the licensing agreement, vendor relationship, and consortial partnership established for accessing e-resources, to identify the challenges and opportunities encountered in the acquisition, management, and dissemination of e-resources in the Mahatma Gandhi University. Next slide, ma'am. A previous study in e-resources is very common among the universities, and majority of the students are dependent on e-resources to get their desired and relevant information, said by the Jomi Jos. The speed of the availability and the ease of accessibility of information causes the users to use electronic resources more frequently, said by Iqbal Monowar in the year of 2007. The inclusion of web pages to the library catalog is a solution to the maintenance of increasing website links, sent by Kennedy in the year 2004. Ma'am, next slide. Hypothesis. The Mahatma Gandhi Universities of e-resources collection development policies and programs are effectively aligned with the academic and research needs of its faculty, students, and researchers. There is a positive correlation between the budget allocated for e-resources collection development at Mahatma Gandhi University and the perceived quality and relevance of the e-resources allocation. The effectiveness of e-resources selection criteria employed by Mahatma Gandhi University Library is positively correlated with the user satisfaction and encouragement with library services. There is a sufficient difference in the utilization pattern of e-resources across different academic disciplines at Mahatma Gandhi University, reflecting various curricular requirements and research interest. Faculty members at Mahatma Gandhi University perceives the licensing agreement and vendor relationship established by the university as conducive to accessing high quality e-resources collection. Next slide, ma'am. Advantages. There are 5 advantages. Resource intensiveness, complexity of data analysis, lack of standardization, resistance to change, limited generalizability. Next slide, ma'am. Disadvantages: time and resource intensive, complexity of data analysis, lack of standardization, resistance to change, and limited generalizability. Next slide, ma'am. Significance of the study. optimizing resource allocation, enhancing access to information, supporting teaching and research, improving user satisfaction, strengthening collaborations. Next slide, ma'am. Mahatma Gandhi University. Mahatma Gandhi University was established in the year 1983. It was named after Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation. Mahatma Gandhi University is a prominent public university located in Kerala, India. It is a rich history of academic excellence, and it is reorganized as a commitment to holistic education and social responsibility. There are some key highlights: location, academic programs, quality education, research and innovation, social responsibility. Location means it is situated in Kottayam, a picturesque district in Kerala, known for its science, beauty, and cultural. Academic program. In academic program, it includes graduate, postgraduate, and doctorate degree for various programs including science, arts, commerce, management, engineering, law, etc. Quality education, it will provide quality education and intelligence growth among the students. Research and innovations, the university encourages research and innovations through its research centers, laboratories, and collaborations with the industry. Social responsibility, it is committed to promoting social justice inclusively and sustainable development. Next slide, ma'am. Conclusion. The analysis undergoes MG University commitment to fostering a robust e-resources collection needs of the academic community by leveraging institutional policies, budget allocation, user feedback mechanism, collaborative partnership, and effective relationship. The university can increase the accessibility, relevance, and quality of its digital holding, thereby encourage teaching, learning, and research endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. Now, I would be like to invite Miss. Thank you, Athira.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I would be like to invite Mrs. Anjali. I am audible to you, Anjali.
Yes, sir.
Please start your presentation.
Sir, it is blank. I have sent another PPT.
यही वाली कर दो, यही वाली चला दो, बिल्कुल ब्लैंक.
Anjali, can you share PPT from your end?
Sir, how can I share my screen? Sir, this is blank
Yes,
one.
please start verbally your presentation.
Okay. Sir, let me open it. So, hi, good afternoon, everyone. The title of my research conference is The Role of Poetry in Learning English Literature. Now, the first slide is my abstract. This research paper delves into the significant role of poetry as a powerful tool in learning English literature. Poetry has been an integral part of the literary landscape throughout history, offering unique insights into language, emotion, and culture. By exploring the various aspects of poetry, its structure, themes, and literary techniques, this paper highlights how poetry enhances language proficiency, fosters critical thinking skills, and deepens appreciation for literature. Through a comprehensive analysis of relevant studies and examples, this research paper aims to demonstrate the indispensable role of poetry in enriching the learning experience of literature. Ultimately, this research contributes to the ongoing discourse on effective strategies for teaching literature through the lens of poetic exploration. Now, moving to the next slide is review of literature. The existing literature on the role of poetry in learning English highlights several key themes. Scholars emphasize that integrating poetry into education enhances language acquisition by exposing students to diverse vocabulary, grammatical structures, and literary devices. Studies also underscore the importance of poetry in developing critical thinking skills. Through the analysis of poetic elements, students learn to interpret, evaluate, and synthesize information, thereby honing their analytical abilities. Additionally, the culture and historical references embedded in poetry serve as windows into different societies, promoting culture literacy and contextual understanding. The literature collectively advocates for a holistic view of poetry as a valuable tool for cultivating linguistic proficiency, critical thinking, and a genuine appreciation for the richness of English literature. Now, moving to next slide, it's about introduction. How poetry is an important part. Poetry as an art form has held a timeless allure, captivating hearts and minds of generations. Throughout the course of literary history, it has played a pivotal role in shaping cultures, preserving traditions, and evoking emotions. Literature is a treasure trove of poetic masterpieces that encompass diverse themes, forms, and styles. From the sonnets of William Shakespeare to the transcendental verses of Emily Dickinson, poetry has contributed immensely to the richness and the depth of literary heritage. Furthermore, the exploration of poetry's role in nurturing empathy and connecting readers with the emotions of the poets will highlight its ability to create an emotional resonance that transcends time and cultural barriers. With its ability to evoke emotions, convey ideas, poetry remains an indispensable tool in the quest to comprehend and appreciate the beauty and depth of literature. Now, moving to next slide, research hypothesis. The hypothesis suggests that incorporating poetry into literature education enhances language acquisition and deepens emotional engagement, ultimately contributing to a more comprehensive and effective learning experience for students. The study suggests that the integration of poetry into English literature education not only enhances language skills but also cultivates empathy, creativity, and a unique perspective, thereby contributing to a more comprehensive and enjoyable learning experience for students. The study postulates that the incorporation of poetry in English literature education not only improves linguistic proficiency but also enhances creativity, emotional intelligence, and the ability to draw connections between literature and personal experiences, fostering a holistic approach to language learning. Moving towards the next slide, historical significance of poetry. From the earliest forms of English literature to the present day, poetry has played a central role in shaping the literary landscape, reflecting culture, social, and political context of each era. Understanding the historical significance of poetry involves exploring its evolution, major periods, and notable poets who have left an indelible mark on literary canon. The roots of English poetry can be traced back to oral traditions and epic narratives, such as the Canterbury Tales. These types of poetry served as a means of storytelling, preserving historical events, and passing down cultural knowledge from one generation to another. Moving towards next slide, early forms of poetry. During the medieval period, poets like Chaucer and William Langland played a crucial role in development of Middle English literature. Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales provided insights into the lives and values of various social classes. The Renaissance period marked a significant shift in English poetry, characterized by revival of classical forms of themes. Poets such as William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe elevated poetry to new
Anjali,
heights.
please conclude your presentation.
Okay, sir. Last but not the least, conclusion. Poetry plays a pivotal role in learning English literature by fostering language proficiency, enhancing critical thinking skills, and providing a rich cultural context. Poetry serves as a gateway to diverse perspectives, enabling students to engage with different culture and historical periods. The role of poetry in learning English literature extends beyond academic pursuits, shaping individuals into more insightful and appreciative readers to the written word. Additionally, poetry acts as a vehicle of self expression, allowing students to articulate their thoughts and emotions in a unique and artistic manner. As an integral part of language acquisition, poetry becomes a dynamic tool that transcends traditional classroom boundaries, fostering a deeper connection between learners and the rich tapestry of English literary heritage. In essence, the role of poetry in learning literature is multifaceted, encompassing linguistic development, critical thinking, cultural appreciation, and personal growth. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Anjali. Mr. Ajay Kumar, I am audible to you. Mr. Ajay Kumar,
Yes, sir.
please start your
Hello.
presentation.
Yes, sir. I am audible.
Yes. Yes, you are audible. Please start your presentation.
Hello.
Can you
Next, sir.
see your PPT on screen?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Please start.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all dignitaries present here. I am presenting my topic and introduction. Indian Zoo is commonly known as bear and dubbed king of arid zone fruits, one of the most popular dryland crop in India and high nutritional and medicinal value. It is also considered as poor man's apple, and it is rich source of amino acid, vitamin C, phosphorus, potassium, and iron. Next slide, ma'am. Next slide. Active vapor packaging technique is the use of CO2 emitters and oxygen scavengers in the packages to create a desired atmosphere inside the package. And mostly non-biodegradable plastic films like polythene have been used for map storage. And the global food packaging market was sized to $3 to 3.81 million in 22, and which is roughly 38% of the US dollars in global food packaging market. And the biopolymer-based biodegradable packaging films market was estimated to be US dollar 1.1 billion in 2020. Due to this, next slide, please. University Orchard, CC. (20 cc oxygen observer with Boxy-TM Indian), and we have connected two parameters that characterization of packaging film and shelf life of estimated physicochemical parameters. Next, please. Next slide, ma'am. Experiment details are there are three variables. Independent variables are temperature and packaging film and storage period. And we have used statistic as CCD in RSM. And dependent variables are given here. There is head gains analysis. These are the पीछे
अनम्यूट होगी ना Mr. Vijay Kumar. Ajay Kumar. Please conclude your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Based on present investigations, it is concluded that packaging film with the auto observer stored at low temperature can prolong the shelf life of non-cultivar up to 25 days. And more studies need to be conducted on solubility of different fruits in biodegradable film. Biodegradable film completed well with LDP, and for being a biodegradable, it has been recommended for packaging of Indian zoo. And at last, I want to say biofilms can make a difference to the society. As we all know, these plastic films are challenge of last only 9 and 8 decades. So still we can catch it up. Otherwise, the initial films are still take maybe along another 100 and decades to compose. So please have a thought on these biodegradable films. Thanks from my side. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajay Kumar. Now moving to the next candidate, Ms. Vatsala Gupta. Please make sure you should be in brief and complete your presentation within 5 minutes. Continue with your presentation. You are not audible, Ms. Vatsala. Please unmute yourself. Continue with your presentation.
Am I audible? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are audible, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much.
Please give your presentation.
Yeah, my presentation is visible. Okay, just next slide so that I can just tell my topic. First slide I want. Yeah, it's a development and organoleptic evaluation of protein-rich breakfast portion twigs. Basically, next slide. Breakfast, because it's an important part of the meal of the day, so that's why we have come up with one of the substitute for the breakfast, that is portion sticks, wherein we are incorporating combination of macronutrients and micronutrients, and we have developed sticks wherein a person can have 6 sticks in a day, and 1/4 of the requirement of the days requirement, which is RDA, gets completed. Next slide, please. So we have seen in studies that breakfasts have been recognized as essential meal associated with high intake of protein, vitamins and minerals, and raised glucose blood concentration. Having proper regular breakfast and improving its quality enhances children's cognitive performance, and even skipping breakfast regularly was negatively linked with lower cognitive performance, especially in adolescents living with overweight or obesity. So breakfast consumption seems to be associated with higher vitamins and mineral intake and should comprise of combination of macro and micronutrients. So a combination of cereal, pulses, millets, vegetables were used to prepare portion twigs. Next. Next slide. Literature review shows us that there are studies which shows that inclusion of foxtail millet, which can be used as an alternative of wheat and rice, since they are gluten-free, they are high in protein content as compared to the cereals. They are high in antioxidants and have low glycemic index. So this study incorporates inclusion of foxtail millet. Even we have used cereal pulse combination, amaranth millet, and you can see we have used beetroot and even spinach. So beetroot is it's a superfood and claims to have increase in blood circulation and lower blood pressure. So there are combination of ingredients which have been used. Next. So the aim is to develop sticks. Back, please. Can I just go with the flow because yeah. The objective is to prepare different variations of portion sticks using different combination of millets, to prepare different variations of portion sticks using different preparation methods, to conduct sensory evaluation and proximate analysis of the acceptable product. Next. So the methodology included procurement of materials. We included spinach, beetroot, sesame seeds, soya flour, foxtail millet, wheat flour, and amaranth grains, and soaking and germination of washed green gram flour, pulse, dehydrating the soaked pulse for 4 hours and then powdering it, roasting of amaranth grains and grinding it to fine powder, and by mixing all the ingredients, preparation of dough with inclusion of beetroot or spinach puree, and baking of the sticks was carried out at 160 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. So 3 different variations of beetroot and 3 different variations of spinach were included and were prepared. Next slide. Next slide, please. So these were the 3 variations which were prepared using spinach puree. A1, A2, A3 with different proportions of the ingredients, and with one was beetroot puree with the 3 variations for that, keeping the other ingredients same. Next. And after the preparation, these were the sticks and the sensory evaluation was carried out. Next. After the sensory evaluation hedonic test which was carried out, the most acceptable product was beetroot puree variation B2 sticks formulated, and the accepted sticks were analyzed for proximate nutrients, shelf life, micronutrients like vitamin A, iron and calcium, and these are the results of the proximate analysis. Next. These were the results for the basically organoleptic evaluation of the product. Next. This is a test showing the shelf life of the product, which came out to be 5 months. So it's durable enough. Next. This table shows you the result of test that the beetroot sticks which we got, the proximate analysis which was done, that it was covering the 1/4 of the recommended dietary allowance of the day of all the nutrients. So these, if we see the requirement or recommended dietary allowances of different nutrients in a day of an individual, of an adult, male or female on an average. So 1/4 of the requirements are met through these sticks if we are consuming them. Next. So to summarize, the objective of the study was to create a product that can fulfill one of the RD of an individual's protein requirement and even other nutrient requirements. The method used for making this product included beetroot spinach, sprouting of pulses, and use of soy flour, foxtail, and amaranth flour. So out of the beetroot variation, the most acceptable was B2. The findings suggest that the beetroot variation had superior acceptability compared to spinach variations in context of hedonic taste. Next. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You can leave me now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now moving to the Miss Vasila Gupta, due to technical error, clearly she can't present their presentation. Now moving to her, Miss Vasila Gupta, continue with your presentation. Miss Vasila Gupta, am I audible to you? Ma'am, unmute yourself.
कोई ना कोई टेक्निकल इशू होगा मैम आप
जब तक उसको कॉल पे शुरू कर लो, बात कर लो आप और नेक्स्ट को देख के फिर बात
मुझे दिखाई लग रहा है को बोलो मैम आप सुन पा रहे
Miss Pooja, am I audible to you?
मुझे को आवाज आ
वो सभी गा रहे हैं मुझे ये तो सुनिए क्या
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible to us.
Okay. Shall I start with the presentation?
Yes, you can continue. Dr. Sneha Sharma.
Good afternoon, everyone. The topic for my research paper is Mind-Body Harmony, Understanding the Impact of Regular Exercise on Psychological Well-being. The things which I will be discussing in this PPT are that how physical exercises affect our mental health also, and how it has been said in empirical researches also, and how many texts, literature texts have proved the same thing. Can I have the next slide, please? Talking about the objectives of the research. The objective is to consider the various mechanisms considering the mental health, how it is influenced due to different health physical programs. Second objective is to evaluate the possible advantages, psychological advantages of integrating health programs with specific regular exercises in a routine. Next objective is how our physical activities affect our issues like anxiety, stress, and depression. Public health policies will also be discussed. They will also be mentioned in my paper ahead. And there are some suggestions at the end for future lines of inquiry which can be considered to correlate, to make a proper correlation between physical exercises and mental health. Can I move to next slide now? Talking about the abstract, physical activity and mental health traits, these qualities have been positively correlated time and again. There are several of empirical data researches available which have proved this time and again. The study has clarified time and again that how physical activity is activating our hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, that how some hormone, some happiness hormone is released in our body when we perform physical exercises, and how it decreases the symptoms of anxiety and depression. So researchers have indicated this, that anxiety and depressive systems can be reduced by performing physical activities regularly, and how it can improve our mood and quality of life in general. The key words which I have included in my abstract are morbidity, anxiety, depression, mental health, and physical activity. Morbidity is when we are more inclined toward negative things. Okay, coming to the introduction. In introduction, I have covered physical exercises and mental health, how they both are important, how they carry a significance in our lives, and how by carrying out a proper physical routine, our mental health can be maintained. It also attempts to provide a complete understanding how exercises promote optimal mental well-being, and why the recent findings, how the recent findings can be correlated in our studies, and it can be used in all health programs. It also highlights the importance of treatments which are addressing the relationship of rising importance of mental health disorders, and how we can connect the physiological factors with our psychological factors also. Also, I have tried to examine and carry out the proofs of past researches where HPXs have been shown. How HPXs provides the insight into our physical activities affecting our mental health. And there are many literary works such as Rattes, Sparks, and Williams have also written The Mindful Way Through Depression. They also highlight the potential of exercise in enhancing our mood and our cognitive abilities also. So somehow it also affects our cognitive and critical thinkings. Can we have the next slide? Hello. Ma'am, can I have the next? Yeah. The review, what researches have been done in this field earlier. I have mentioned some major researches which I have read, like regular exercise have reduced our lower stress and anxiety levels. It has been done by, can we move to previous slide? Talking about the advantages and disadvantages of the research which has been carried out earlier. If I talk about the, can I have the previous slide, please? Advantages and disadvantages of the past research. Uh, Impact of physical activity on mental health. So there are various advantages. If we are doing regular physical activities, it is going to affect our mental health. Various yogic asanas, if I talk about
Hello,
yoga,
Miss Pooja.
if I talk about physical exercises,
Miss Pooja,
when a
please
person,
conclude your presentation.
can you
Conclude
repeat?
your presentation.
Okay. When we perform a particular exercise, it releases endorphins in our body, and endorphins enhances our happiness and lessens our tension and anxiety. It fights the signs of anxiety and depression while improving our mood, our self-esteem, and also our cognitive performance. Like we are able to think in a better way. Our critical thinkings, our cognitive thinking, they all are improved. Additionally, if I talk about exercise, it is going to promote our social interaction also, network of support, which is going to strengthen our emotional resilience. Of course, we will be more resilient emotionally also if we are performing exercises regularly. In the long run, if I say, it will stop our cognitive aging, like and raise general quality of life. If I talk about the purpose, hello. I can't see the conclusion on the screen. We are on the references right now. Yeah. yeah, this one. So, physical health programs, they have
Thank you, Miss
demonstrated
Pooja.
positive.
Your time running very short. You just have only 5 minutes.
Okay,
Let's
okay, ma'am.
go.
Okay. I'll try to.
Thank you.
I'll sum up it in 2 minutes. Okay.
No. Now moving to the next candidate. Thank you, Miss Pooja. Next candidate
Thank
is
you, ma'am.
Seema Rani. You can leave now, Miss Pooja.
Okay. Okay.
Next, Miss Seema Rani. Please make sure, Miss Seema Rani, you have to conclude your presentation within 5 minutes.
Okay, ma'am, sure. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you can
Uh,
continue.
okay, ma'am. Next slide, please. Good afternoon, everyone. So, the title of my research paper is Maternal Resilience: The Creative Force in the Color Purple. Next slide, please. So here is the abstract with us. This study titled Motherhood as a Creativity in Alice Walker's The Color Purple attempts to examine Alice Walker's understanding of motherhood by placing motherhood at the center of feminism and to understand how it empowers women differently in the childbearing role and artistic powers or raising children in this patriarchal society. So, in this study, the new wave of feminism that supports women and mothers, that is, mother centered feminism, is discussed. By identifying female characters from different origins in the color purple, we can place mothers at the center of feminism. This article concludes that the parenting manifests itself in many ways, including parental support, co parenting, mother daughter relationships. This allows the character to unleash their artistic strength despite the problems they face as women and mothers. Next slide, please, ma'am. So here is the introduction. Alice Walker's masterpiece, The Color Purple, is a literary masterpiece that transcends narrative into an in-depth examination of mother-centered feminism. Published in 1982, this novel is a testament to the courage, strength, and resilience of African American women in the 20th century. At its core, The Color Purple delves into the lives of its characters, particularly protagonist Silly, and explores the complexities of parenting, sisterhood, and the power dynamics of parental relationships. The novel takes place against the background of racism, gender inequality, and injustice in South America. Walker intricately explores the intersection of race and gender as she weaves a tapestry story presenting a nuanced portrait of African American women surviving in a hostile and oppressive environment. Next slide, ma'am, please. So here we are having literature review. In Alice Walker's The Color Purple, maternal feminism emerges as a powerful theme that shows the transformation of motherhood into the female role in a challenging environment. Our heroine Sally and the other women cope with abuse thanks to the mother's strength, resilience, and unity. Sally's evaluation from a woman who is a victim of oppression to a woman who has power over herself is closely related to her role as a mother and offers a narrative that reflects the views of women's organization. With vivid illustrations and vivid descriptions, Walker offers an exploration of sexuality, freedom, resistance against patriarchal structures. Color Purple is a project that speaks to feminist literature, contributing to the discussion of mother centered feminism and encouraging a broader discussion of women's empowerment in various cultures and societies. Next slide, ma'am, please. So here are some methodologies which have been discussed here. An effective method for understanding the study of mother-centered feminism in Alice Walker's The Color Purple requires a multidisciplinary approach combining qualitative analysis with historical and cultural context. In addition, historical research and content of the narrative appear to be in cultural context. Problems related to how the mother is defined or the culture of the period. This involves exploring the historical background, socio-political landscape, and the expectations of women and mother in the South in early 20th century. Additionally, intersectional analysis grounded in feminist intersectional theory explores the intersection of race, class, and gender in the image of motherhood. This approach highlights the difficulty inherent in mother centered feminism, allowing for a better understanding of how the individual differ from the experience of female characters. Overall, the mentioned methodology comprises of qualitative analysis, literary analysis, historical analysis, reader response, and intersectionality. Next, please. So here I am with the conclusion. Overall, Alice Walker's The Color Purple is a critical examination of mother-centered feminism and presents a narrative that transcends the status quo regarding women's role in society. Through characters such as Silly, Sophie, and Chuck Avery, Walker presents a story of parental strength, perseverance, and unity that is difficult to exploit. This intersectional perspective that Walker examines parenting in the novel brings with a complex process involving race, class, and culture. Gender offers a detailed portrait of the challenges faced by women from different cultures. The narrative not only challenges patriarchal models but also invite readers to consider the broader implication of mother-centered feminism. The novel's lasting impact on feminist discourse is clear as it continues to resonate with readers of all generations. The color purple is a recent testament to the power of the bond between women and the transformative power of parenthood in the face of adversity. Walker's exploration of these themes not only contributes to the literature but also invites readers to engage with women's expectation, ultimately providing a deeper understanding of the intersection of parenting and feminist empowerment. Next slide, please. Here the list of references from which I have taken this whole content. So ma'am, that's all. These are the slides. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for providing me the opportunity to share my research paper and to give
Thank you,
them.
Seema Rani. Now moving to the next candidate, Mr. Rajesh Kumar. Am I audible to you, Mr. Rajesh Kumar? Mr. Rajesh Kumar? Moving to the next candidate, Ms. Deepika.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I
Your
audible?
presentation, wait, Ms. Deepika, your presentation should be brief. You should not read line to line from your presentation. You should tell just your major remark point from your presentation, and your presentation should be finished within 5 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
All the best.
Good afternoon to all of you. And my topic is to study the cognitive emotion regulation strategies among adolescents. Next slide, please. This is the abstract. This study aimed to investigate cognitive emotion regulation strategies among adolescents. Toward this end, 400 school-going students were measured. Data were collected by means of cognitive emotion regulation questionnaire. To analyze the data, ANOVA were used. Results indicate that there are difference in the mean of each cognitive emotion regulation strategies across different groups or conditions. Next slide, please. Introduction. Cognitive emotion regulation strategies are means mental strategies that help individuals to cope up from the anxious situations. Cognitive emotion regulation strategies are focused, that is self-blame, other blame, rumination, or focus on thoughts, putting into perspective, positive refocusing, the reappraisal, acceptance, refocus on planning. Next slide, please. These are the 9 dimensions of CERS: self-blame, other blame, rumination or focus on thoughts, catastrophizing, putting into perspective, positive refocusing, positive reappraisal, acceptance and refocus on planning. Next slide, please. These are the description of 9 dimensions. Next slide. Next. These are the literature view. These are the authors that has given the literature's reviews, that is Picker and Etiol method that used sample size and tool used for analysis findings. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. This is the objective of my study, to find out the cognitive emotion regulation strategies of adolescent with demographic variable. The demographic variable is age, gender, religion, school type, and family status. Next slide. Hypothesis. There is a no significant difference between cognitive emotion regulation strategies adolescent with demographic variable, that is age, gender, religion, school type, and family status. These are the research design which is used in my research. Sample design is random sampling. Sample size is 400. Area of study is Hisar, Haryana. Data that collection is the cognitive emotion regulation questionnaire, and age group is 12 to 19 years. Material and method of the study. Primary source and secondary source are used in my research. Next slide, please. Cognitive emotion regulation questionnaire that is used in my research. It consists of 36 items, 7-point scale ranges from very high to very low, and it consists of 9 dimensions that I have already told. Next slide, please. Statistical analysis, ANOVA, that I have used in my research. Result and discussion. This is the ANOVA which I have used in my research to analyze the data. Next slide. Next. The study revealed a notable diversity in cognitive emotion regulation strategies adopted by adolescents based on demographic factors. Different age group, genders, religion, background, school types, and family status exhibit distinct pattern in how they regulate their emotion cognitively. In summary, the ANOVA result indicate that there are significant difference in the mean of each cognitive emotion regulation strategies across different groups or conditions. Next slide, please. This is the conclusion. The investigation into the significance cognitive emotion regulation strategies among adolescents for the various demographic variable has yielded valuable insight. The study aimed to understand how age, gender, religion, school type, and family status may influence these crucial aspects of adolescent development. This insight is pivotal for designing targeted interventions to enhance emotional well-being among adolescents navigating the digital landscape. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. These are the references which I have used in my research paper. Thank you so much.
Mr. Manmohan, am I audible to you? Now moving to the next candidate, Mr. Rajesh Kumar. Am I audible to you, Mr. Rajesh Kumar?
Audible, ma'am.
Okay, continue with your presentation. You have to finish your presentation within 5 minutes.
Okay, madam. Okay.
Please be in brief. Continue. All the best.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Rajesh Kumar. My paper title is Sustainable Agriculture in India, Challenge and Significance. मैडम वो पीपीटी नहीं आ रही.
Now it's showing to your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
continue.
My paper title is Sustainable Agriculture in India, Challenge and Significance. Next slide, please. The aim of the research is to explore the issue and challenge of sustainable agriculture development in India. Sustainability means finding a balance between the demand for agriculture product and the supply. The Green Revolution has helped make agriculture more efficient, leading to increased productivity. The success of agriculture relies on various resource strategies and methods used to tackle dry spells caused by reduced rainfall. Farmers need to employ innovation strategies. The study finding uncover these innovation strategies and their role in achieving growth. Agriculture being the largest private sector holding a crucial position in the Indian economy. Next slide. Next slide, please. Agriculture in India is closely linked with various sectors like production, processing, and marketing, making it a key driver of change in the country. The paper aimed to explore the importance of sustainable development in the agriculture field using secondary data. With a large portion of the population residents in rural area and relying on agriculture for their livelihoods, it remains the primary occupation in India. Sustainable development in agriculture seeks to enhance productivity, efficiency, and employment opportunity while also safeguarding natural resource from overuse. It introduced mechanism to mitigate soil degradation through practice such as multiple cropping system and addressing issue like deforestation. This holistic approach aims to ensure the long-term visibility of agriculture while supporting rural communities and preserving the environment for future generation. Next slide. Introduction. Sustainable agricultural development focus on three main goals: environmental sustainability, health sustainability, and economic prosperity.
Mr. Rajesh Kumar, please conclude your presentation. Come to your summary and conclusion.
ठीक मैडम, conclusion. Sustainable development means managing natural resource to meet present and future needs without harming the environment. To achieve this in agriculture, we need to optimize natural, human capital, and technical resource. In India, crop yields heavily depend on rainfall, affecting the sector growth rate. The uncertainty hits small farmers and laborers the hardest, leading to struggle with drought and floods. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh Kumar. Now moving to the next candidate, Ms. Nikesh. Am I audible to you, Ms. Nikesh? You can leave now, Rajesh Kumar. Ms. Nikesh.
I am audible or not?
Yes, you are audible, Ms. Nikesh. You have to complete your presentation within 5 minutes. It should be brief. You should not learn line to line from your presentation. Just tell your major findings or major point in your presentation.
Okay, sure, ma'am. Respected chairperson.
Your camera is not on.
Oh, wait, ma'am. I'm trying. Will you try to from your side, please?
So, tell your result verbally. No need to switch on your camera.
Okay,
Continue.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Respected chairperson, respected registrar, dean, and all my faculty members. First of all, good afternoon to all of you. This is Nikesh, School of Yoga and Naturopathy, OSGU, and my research topic is समाज में नैतिक मूल्यों को बढ़ाने के लिए यौगिक यम और नियम का प्रभाव. तो नाउ वी स्टार्ट विद द अब्स्ट्रैक्ट. प्रस्तुत शोध पत्र में योग के 8 अंगों को परिभाषित किया गया है, जिसमें से जो हमारा है फर्स्ट यम और नियम. और ये यम और नियम हमारे अष्टांग योग से उठाए गए हैं, जो कि अष्टांग योग हमारे पतंजलि योग सूत्र महर्षि पतंजलि के द्वारा दिया गया है. पतंजलि योग सूत्र से
Due to some technical error, we are moving to the next candidate, Ms. Priyanka Shetty. Ms. Priyanka Shetty, am I audible to you? Now moving to the next candidate, Mr. Krishan Kumar. Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm audible.
Sir, you have to finish your presentation within 5 minutes. It should be brief.
Sure,
You can
ma'am. Sure,
continue
ma'am.
from now. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Krishan Kumar, and I'm a research scholar from the Department of Psychology at OSGU. Today, I'm honored to speak to you about a topic very close to my heart. It's the art of living through yoga, a path to balance and harmony. Next slide, please, if I can see my slides.
Please, sir, will you present your presentation? Sir.
Should I present it from my side, ma'am, or it is because it is already linked there?
Yes, you can present your presentation from your side, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Sure. Ma'am, can you see the screen? Is it visible, ma'am? My screen is visible?
Yes, sir, you can continue, sir.
Okay, the abstract, the introduction is this like yoga, as many of you may know, is not just a form of exercise. It is a comprehensive philosophy rooted in ancient wisdom. It encompasses physical posture, breath control, meditation, and ethical principles, all aimed at aligning ourselves with the fundamental aspects of life. When we think about living a fulfilled life, we often seek solutions that addresses various dimensions of our well-being, and these are like mental health, mental well-being, fostering social connections, nurturing our physical health, facilitating spiritual growth, and ultimately leading to self-realization. The mental health yoga encourages mindfulness movement and breathe as the bridge of inner peace. Our focus on breathe is like especially it increase our clarity, it increase our focus, it develop our the peace in our mind. This meditative aspect of yoga help us manage stress and maintain emotional stability. Moreover, yoga extended beyond the mat of our daily lives. Through practices like meditation and regulated breathing, pranayam, we learn to live yoga off the mat, integrating its principle into our actions, thoughts, and interaction with others. Now, let's talk about the objectives of this research. And these are the to promote physical health and flexibility via asanas and motions, fostering strength, balance, and endurance. To yoga activities like meditation and regulated breathing, pranayam aim to calm the mind, increase focus, and boost mental clarity. To promote emotional stability via self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-management. And also it is to like a spiritual activity that transcend physical and mental dimension, fostering connection with oneself or a higher force. To fundamental emphasis the interconnectedness of mind and body, linking physical health to mental and emotional well-being, to encourage a holistic lifestyle by promoting healthy behavior including mindful eating, frequent exercise, and a balanced lifestyle. Basically this study is about like now this only counseling is not enough for our mental well-being, or the exercise like doing gym is not enough. We need to develop some comprehensive approach, and this study shows that if we'll do yoga, the comprehensive approach will do will create the calmness in our mind, and will also develop a good health in an era characterized by relentless busyness and instant distraction. The art of living through yoga offers a holistic approach and a complete life. So we should encourage the this complete wholeness health. You can say the path to balance and harmony, the art of living through yoga. So thank you very much. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now moving to the next candidate, Miss Rekha. Am I audible to you, Miss Rekha?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Rekha, you have to finish your presentation within 5 minutes. It should be brief, and you should tell your major points. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Continue
Okay.
with your presentation. All the best.
गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीबॉडी। मेरा टॉपिक है सर्व शिक्षा अभियान के तहत संचालित शैक्षिक योजनाओं का प्राथमिक शिक्षा में क्या महत्व है। सर्व शिक्षा अभियान 2001 में चलाया गया था। ये प्राथमिक स्कूलों में प्राथमिक शिक्षा का सार्वभौमिकरण करने के लिए चलाया गया था, ताकि सभी बच्चों को प्राथमिक शिक्षा से जोड़ा जा सके, प्राथमिक शिक्षा प्रदान करके शिक्षा की मुख्य धारा से उनको जोड़ सके, और कोई भी बच्चा निरक्षर ना रहे, अनपढ़ ना रहे। हमारी जो जनसंख्या बढ़ रही है, जनसंख्या बढ़ने के साथ साथ हमारी जो स्वतंत्रता के बाद हमारा लक्ष्य था कि अपनी एजुकेशन को अचीव करना, साक्षरता दर को बढ़ाना, लेकिन ये साक्षरता दर कहीं ना कहीं पिछड़ चुकी थी। और इसी अभियान को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए 2001 में अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने इस प्रोग्राम को शुरू किया था। और समय रहते रहते जैसे जैसे हमारी शिक्षा नीतियां आई हैं, शिक्षा नीतियों में भी इसके बारे में बताया गया है। सर्व शिक्षा अभियान वैसे तो 2001 में शुरू कर दिया था, लेकिन बीच बीच में इसके अंदर बहुत सारी योजनाओं को जोड़ा गया, क्योंकि हमारी जो शिक्षा के उद्देश्य थे कहीं ना कहीं उनको पूरा करने में हम पिछड़ रहे थे, उनको पूरा नहीं किया जा रहा, पूरे नहीं हो पा रहे थे वो। तो इसीलिए इसके अंदर बहुत सारी योजनाओं को जोड़ा गया था, जैसे शिक्षा गारंटी योजना। शिक्षा गारंटी योजना में जहाँ ऐसे क्षेत्र जो दलित क्षेत्र हैं, स्लम एरियाज ज्यादा हैं, उन क्षेत्रों में जाकर सर्वे किया गया, और जहाँ पर कम से कम 25 बच्चे पढ़ने की स्थिति में हैं, जो 6 से 14 साल की आयु के हैं, उन बच्चों के लिए विद्यालय स्थापित किए गए और उन बच्चों को शिक्षा की मुख्य धारा से जोड़ा गया। उसके बाद जिला प्राथमिक शिक्षा कार्यक्रम शुरू किए गए, ये भी सर्व शिक्षा अभियान के तहत ही शुरू किए गए थे। इसका संचालन 1994 में किया गया था, ताकि प्रत्येक जिले के अंतर्गत एक ऐसा शिक्षा केंद्र स्थापित किया जाए जिसमें सभी बच्चों को मुख्य धारा से जोड़ दिया जाए। और इस अभियान को वर्ष 2009 में सर्व शिक्षा अभियान के तहत लागू किया गया था। कस्तूरबा गांधी बालिका विद्यालय, ये योजना भी सर्व शिक्षा अभियान के तहत ही शुरू की। पहले ये इंडिविजुअली स्टार्ट की गई थी, लेकिन बाद में 2007-2004 के अंदर कस्तूरबा गांधी बालिका विद्यालयों को भी सर्व शिक्षा अभियान के तहत जोड़कर ही इसे आगे लागू किया गया। मिड डे मील योजना, स्कूलों में घटती जो संख्या थी छात्रों की, उसको देखते हुए मिड डे मील योजना चलाई गई थी, जिसमें छात्रों को भोजन दिया जाता था ताकि पौष्टिकता का भी ध्यान रखा जाए। और जो बच्चे गरीब परिवार से हैं, अनुसूचित जातियों से हैं, जनजातियों से हैं, जो पढ़ाई के प्रति अवेयर नहीं है, उनको अवेयर करने के लिए, शिक्षा के प्रति तत्पर करने के लिए, ताकि उनको एक प्रोत्साहन मिले ताकि वो विद्यालय में आ सके। इसी कारण से सरकार ने एक स्कीम चलाई थी, मिड डे मील योजना। इसका आरंभ 15 अगस्त 1995 में किया गया था और वर्ष 2007 में इस स्कीम को भी सर्व शिक्षा अभियान के साथ जोड़ दिया गया। महिला समाख्या कार्यक्रम स्त्रियों की शिक्षा को बढ़ाने के लिए शुरू किया गया था और धीरे-धीरे इस योजना को भी सर्व शिक्षा अभियान के तहत ही लागू किया गया। इसमें लड़कियों की सहभागिता को बढ़ाने के लिए इस प्रोग्राम को शुरू किया गया था।
Your presentation.
Yes,
Within
ma'am.
1 minute, please conclude your
Okay, ma'am.
presentation.
ओके मैम, ओके। सर्व शिक्षा अभियान के मुख्य क्षेत्र हैं बालकों के साथ बालिकाओं को भी शिक्षा देना, विशेष जरूरतमंद बच्चों को शिक्षित करना, समाज में बालक बालिका का अंतर समाप्त करके माता पिता को बालिकाओं को स्कूल भेजने के लिए प्रोत्साहन देना, देश की प्राथमिक शिक्षा की गुणवत्ता में वृद्धि करना, सामुदायिक एकजुटता को बढ़ावा देना, समाज के कमजोर वर्ग, अनुसूचित जाति, जनजातियां, पिछड़े वर्ग एवं बच्चों को शिक्षा की मुख्य धारा से जोड़ना। और लास्ट में कंक्लूजन में मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि ये जो हमारा सर्व शिक्षा अभियान कार्यक्रम है, इसको वर्ष 2020 के अंदर एक नया नाम दिया गया है, समग्र शिक्षा अभियान। और समग्र शिक्षा अभियान के अंतर्गत हमारी जो 2020 की एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई है, उसी के अनुसार इसमें परिवर्तन किया गया है और इसमें कई चीजों को जोड़ा गया है। जैसे इस अभियान को 4 अगस्त 2021 को आरंभ किया गया और इसका उद्देश्य है कि 2026 तक हम सभी जो शिक्षा की जो त्रुटियां हैं, जो पिछड़ापन है, उसको दूर करके हम शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ेंगे। और आगे आने वाले वर्षों में भी इस अभियान के तहत कुछ नए तरीकों से स्कूल में जैसे बाल वाटिका है, स्मार्ट शिक्षा स्कूल क्लासेस हैं, शिक्षकों की व्यवस्था है, इन चीजों को शुरू किया जाएगा। थैंक यू मैम।
Thank you, Ms. Rekha. Now moving to the next candidate, Mr. Mohinder. Am I audible to Mr. Mohinder? Mr. Mohinder,
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
good afternoon. You have to complete your presentation within 5 minutes.
Yes. Good
Continue.
afternoon, everyone. Myself Mahendra Kumar Naik from Sterling Global University. I am presently. I want to present my topic as social.
Hello, Miss. Now moving to the next candidate, Miss Priyanka Sethi.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Miss Priyanka Sethi.
Yes,
Ma'am, you have to conclude your presentation within 5 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
All the best.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself is Priyanka Sethi. I am research scholar of legal studies. Today, my topic is equality, equity, and development of women in India. Gender equality and equity are imperative to strengthening communities, economic, and nation. We envision a world where every person has equal opportunity, where their safety, security are guaranteed, and where they are treated equitably and fairly at home and in their schools, workplace, and communities. The status quo has not worked for women, girls, and all those who experience gender based discriminations, especially those who belongs to undeserved communities that have been systematically denied full opportunity to participate in economic, social, civic, and political life and face structural barriers to equality. What is equality? Equality means every individual or group of people is given the same resources or opportunities. Gender equality definition is the state in which access to right or opportunities is unaffected by gender. It's not only women who are affected by gender inequality, all genders are impacted, including men, trans, and gender diverse people, turn in impact children and families and peoples of all ages and background. Equity. Gender equity means respecting all peoples without discrimination regardless of their gender. It also means addressing gender inequality that limit a person's ability to access opportunity to achieve better health, education and economic opportunity based on their gender. Today gender equity has helped shape and change the role and expectation of men, women and all genders at work, home and in society. Equality is giving the same things. Equity is the fairness, contemporary challenges, and gender issues. Gender inequality persists as a complex issue in Indian societies, interest with various social
Ma'am, please
cultures.
go to your results.
Okay,
Tell
ma'am.
about your results findings.
A gender gap report. According to Gender Gap Report 2022, the level of women's representation in leadership role is only in proximity to gender partly in selected industries such as non-government and membership organization 47%, education 46%, and personal services well-being 45%. On average, more women have been hired into leadership in industry where women are already highly represented. Conclusion.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You can leave this. Now moving to the earlier candidate Mohinder. Due to technical error earlier, we can't continue with that presentation. Now, Mr. Mohinder. Am I audible to you?
Audible. Are you audible or not, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible. Continue with your presentation.
Yeah. दिस इज ओडिशा ओडिशा की लगभग 62 डिफरेंट ट्राइब रहते हैं और उसके साथ साथ की 22.8% आर एससी ट्राइब शेड्यूल ट्राइब हैं और केबी के डिस्ट्रिक्ट में ज्यादातर निवासी हैं और पीवीजीटी पर्टिकुलरली वनरेबल ट्राइब रहते हैं और इन लोगों के लिए लेके हम मेरा ये स्टडी है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. दिस इज माय लिटरेचर ऑफ रिव्यू. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. This is objective of my present study. This study is to emphasize the socio-economic plight of Odisha's tribal population and to examine significant infrastructure constructed by state and federal government for the development of the tribal population in the Koraput district. To examine the impact of the socio-economic infrastructure and economic growth in the Koraput district with the help of mass media, and to establish the role of media infrastructure in crucial economic development sector, and also it linked with sustainable development goal. That's why this study will doing by me. Next please. This is a research hypothesis. There is no substantial relationship between social infrastructural development in Odisha's Koraput district tribal settlement, and due to lack of basic infrastructural amenity till date, the indigenous people are faces a great deal of difficulty. There is also significant effort on measure taken by government of Odisha as well as India in social infrastructural development in the tribal district of Koraput, Odisha. Next please. This is the background of my study. Koraput district is located in the southern part of India, and bordering state is Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. This is the brief history of the my background. Next, please. Next. This is technical program. The study will be conducted in Odisha state, and this is consist of 30 district and 314 block.
Please
And
conclude your presentation, Mr. Mohinder.
I have
Move to
only
your
chosen
results.
for
What are
for
your
in
major
depth.
findings and results?
This is 320 respondent of study area. Next, this is finding media. This is my finding. Media also highlighting different issues so many times: poverty, inadequate healthcare, poor education, malnutrition, and poor road connectivity. Next, please come to conclusion. This is challenges in Koraput area, my study area. There is no internet facility, no mobile tower. Human trafficking also is there. Next, please. Next, please. Education problem with education and healthcare care problem is with also in tribal people. Next, please. Through infrastructural development, we can develop many things. Water supply. This is my result and analysis. Education and literacy rate. What is the result and analysis I have mentioned for education and to increase education and literacy rate and healthcare access and public health. Next, please. This is the suggestion to all of this. Uh, uh, this is my conclusion. The social and infrastructure development of the tribal population in Koraput district is the critical area to require urgent attention. Addressing all these challenges in aspirational district like undivided Koraput district and the mentioned 4 blocks is need to more focus, and community radio programs also focused on more challenges. Next, uh, this is reference and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohinder. Moving to the next candidate, Anushi Tomar. Anushi Tomar, just tell about your major findings. Try to wrap your conclusion and summary within 2 minutes.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, just give me 3 minutes. I'll conclude my presentation.
Okay.
The aim of my study is to study the prevalence of premenstrual syndrome and awareness and management studies among the young females. So I'll go to the objectives now. So the first objective of my study is to study the symptoms of premenstrual syndrome. Second is to study about the awareness of PMS in female population. Third, to study the different ways of handling PMS in the population. And fourth one is to study the herbs that were taken during PMS phase. So the methodology adopted were first to locale of the investigation, and I have used Delhi and NCR population for this study. Second is the sample collection by the survey method, interviews method, discussion method, and the questionnaire method. Now the results of my study is that there are different symptoms like nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, laziness, and abdominal cramps and fever that were faced by the female during the PMS phase. And as far as the awareness is concerned, about 74% of the population were aware about the PMS, and the rest 26% were not aware about the PMS. And the source of awareness were 30% by the magazine, 21% by the doctors, 22% from the newspaper, and 27% from the peer population. And the herbs and supplements taken by the respondents were primrose oil in 36% of the population, omega supplements among 34% of the population, and aromatherapy among 26% of the population. There were different ways of handling the PMS. 25% of the respondents visited doctor to handle the PMS. 42% have taken self-medication. 4% of the population taken Ayurvedic treatment, and 5% of the population had taken homeopathic treatment, and 20% of the population ignored the symptoms of PMS. Now the summary and conclusion of my study is about the symptoms of menstruation. 52% of the subjects often had symptoms of laziness, and most of them were suffering from abdominal cramps, 40% were having nervousness, 6.7% were often suffering from backache, and 52.8% were having discomfort in the pelvic region. Ma'am, do I need to add more in the conclusion and summary? Ma'am, do I need to add more points in? Ma'am, you are not audible.
Okay, thank you so much. No need to
No, complete.